the start of the meeting, the Mayor will confirm if all or part of the meeting is being filmed or audio recorded. The whole of the meeting will be recorded except where there are confidential or exempt items. Do we have any questions from the members of the public? No, we seem not to. Thank you.
Madam Mayor?
Yes.
Can I suggest if any members of the public do join late because of the difficulties and they do want to ask a question, can we give them the opportunity to later in the meeting?
I'm sure we could try and do that.
Yeah, okay. Thank you.
If we don't run out of time, we could try and do that, couldn't we?
Yeah.
Right, if we start item 1, apologies, acceptance for reasons.
Apologies received from councillors Barker, Hook, Birkin and Saunders.
Wow, you're busy tonight.
I think the Joint Transport Board has taken most of them.
You're right.
So we'll accept that.
Yes, we can accept that. Do we need to vote on that?
No.
Just accept that. No, good. Declarations of pecuniary and non-pecuniary interest. Members who have an interest to declare must declare the existence and nature of it at the start of the meeting and act in accordance with the Council's Code of Conduct S27 Localism Act 2011. Do we have any pecuniary or non-pecuniary? No. I take that as a no. Item 3, to receive and accept as a true record the minutes of the Town Council planning meeting held on the 16th of November.
I propose we accept those.
They were very brief, weren't they? Very short. Do we have a seconder for that?
Second those.
Councillor Williams, and can we all vote on that?
Thank
you. Lovely, thank you. To receive the planning schedule, 16th of November. Can I propose we accept that? Have we got a second?
I'll second.
Thank you. And if we all vote on that? Thank you.
Yes.
And item 5, to consider, make representation to the relevant authorities on planning applications contained in the enclosed list dated the 7th of December. 2050-5200 TPO 68 Stonebridge Way, Favershsm. TPO application 1U, remove any major deadwood and internal crown, thin internal growth by 10%, reduce the outer canopy of the tree all round to previous cutting. 1 London plane, remove visible deadwood and water shoots from the mid-crown area and check the main structure of the tree. Reasons: size of the tree is causing concerns to several neighbours. Councillor Williams.
Thank you. I'm quite happy to speak on this one. I don't see any problems with this application. I think it all seems quite sort of typical maintenance of the trees. So I think we propose no objection.
Thank you. Do we have a seconder? Councillor Martin. And shall we all vote on that one? Thank you. 2050-5272 TCA 10A Preston Street. Conservation area notification to reduce 1 Ramus or Alterna variegator shrub to height of 2.4 metre and spread of 3 metre. Reduce main branch tips of 1 Ilex aquifolium up to 2 metre from trunk. Reduce 2 branches of one. Oh, I think Councillor Williams, you might like to do these. I'm sure I'm not pronouncing them properly. Monogona east back from over a neighbouring property and west up to 1.5 from the trunk. I think again, Councillor Williams.
I'm happy to. I think interestingly, this is quite the sort of centre of town, obviously. So it's quite. These sort of trees. I mean, the first one's a buckthorn, and you've got holly, and then a hawthorn. So they're all kind of trees that get quite dense. So again, I don't see any issues with that, and I think it's. So I think we should propose no objection again with this one.
Thank you.
I'll second that.
Thank you, Councillor Martin. Can we all vote on that? (2050 5349) TCA, Provender Walk, Provender Road, conservation notification to carry out works to multiple trees, 24. That seems a lot. Councillor Williams, yes.
I'm happy again.
It's the whole of the walk, yeah.
I think what it is here is they've obviously got, throughout the sort of state there, they've got various different species. There was a list, I think, of different ones and what they were going to do. I think some of them are getting quite big, so it kind of again, it's suitable maintenance, and they have planted a few additional ones this year, which is good. So I think my only comment, and I think we should propose no objection, but my only comment would be that it's done sympathetically to the species that they're pruning, so that they're, obviously because they're taking sort of height off of various trees, and just so it obviously doesn't lose the amenity value of the trees, which I'm sure the tree officer will look at. But that's the only comment I've got to make. But I don't see any reason to object.
Thank you.
I'll second that one then.
Councillor Martin, thank you. Can we all vote? Yeah. Molly. 2050 5364 TCA, 56 Park Road, conservation area notification to fell one macrocarpa tree and fell one holly. Councillor Williams.
Thank you. I mean, there's no, in the application, it's sort of the macrocarpa is a sort of type of conifer. So, and they're saying it's quite close to the property. I had to sort of do a bit of research and look at the sort of the implications of a tree like that. I think there's a justified reason for them to remove it. I think would cause problems. I'm not really sure with the holly, but again, obviously, without seeing it, I can't see any reason to object. I think the only thing might be good to suggest is whether they could plant another small tree in the garden just to offset the removal of the two, maybe one that's more suitable for the garden. But I think from my point of view, I can't see why we would object to it. So I think we do no objection.
Thank you. Any comment? Seconder?
I'll second.
Councillor Martin, and can we all vote on that? Thank you. Phase 2A, Favershsm Lakes, former Brett aggregates or mineral workings, Ham Road. Approval of reserved matters for 106 1, 2, 3, 4 and 5 bedroom houses and apartments, together with associated roads, parking and landscaping, appearance, landscaping, layout and scale being sought, pursuant of hybrid application SW 140257. Yes, this has come up before. Are there any comments on this one?
Last time we objected, we commented the proposal is line with the previous applications and fits in with the overall development. Our only query was the 10-year split. The Town Council wishes to reiterate the concerns raised by the Affordable Housing Manager at SBC, and the 10-year split needs to be revised to ensure the whole site sits within requirements of the SO Section 106 are met.
Right, so where do we go with that now then? Is that agreed? Councillor Martin.
Sorry, I note that we that since our comments were added to that planning application, the applicant has consulted with the Swale Borough Council housing team, and they have now withdrawn their objection on the grounds that, so therefore I think we should now say no objection, as this has now been discussed and the appropriate measures taken.
Thank you. Any other comments? Councillor Williams.
Yeah, I agree. I think I'm quite happy to second that.
Thank you.
Yeah, because I think you know that our issues have been addressed or resolved, or however you want to put it. But I think it's you know, the application. I don't see any reason why we can object now. So.
Thank you. Are we all in agreement with that? Can we vote on that? Thank you. Oh, this is a revised details. 2050 5145 16 Kennedy Close, erection of part single, part 2 story front and side extension. This has come before us before.
Yeah, there's no revised details as far as I could see. I think I just listed that one in error.
I was going to say we have done that. Right, 2050 5284 full, 72 St Mary's Road, erection of a front porch and a single story rear extension with internal alterations. Any comment? Councillor Martin?
Thank you. The rear extension I have no problem with. That's the first thing I'm going to say. But I'm unsure about the erection of a front porch there. I know there have been some front porches added to properties in St Mary's Road. However, they are not in keeping with the original drawings for these sort of places, and they are and it is in a conservation area. So I think I would be minded to say, if you like, no objection to the rear extension, because that's very similar to everything that everyone else has done in those sort of roads. And to be fair, it does remove an outside WC, which is a good reason for changing it. However, the front porch, I'm not sure, and I would like to hear the conservation. I mean, I would say that we should object on the grounds that it's not in keeping with the tradition of the area to that section. I know it sounds a bit bizarre. I don't know whether we can sort of say no objection to one bit and object to another, or do we have to object to the whole planning application? I defer to the Deputy Town Clerk to advise.
Yeah.
No, we have done that before.
Yeah.
Split it up like that, and because it's, you know, see the completely different bits really. I think I think that would be the best way. Otherwise, I think you'll lose the opportunity to comment.
Yeah, I would agree with Councillor Martin. You know, having looked at it, and again, I'm not an architect and I'm not an architect. However, it looks like a very simple lean-to roof structure, and I in my lay opinion, it doesn't look remotely in keeping with the street and conservation area. So I would ask that that we have objections on the basis that we believe that it isn't appropriate, but a conservation officer can verify that.
Thank you. So we've got Councillor Martin proposing, Councillor Irwin seconding. Can we vote on that proposal? Yeah, thank you. 20 50 52 35 full, 18 Binch Close, erection of single-storey rear extension and conversion of garage to habitable space with external alterations. Looks quite good. Any comments here? Councillor Irwin?
Yeah, it looks like a reasonable, very reasonable type of alteration you would make to increase the habitable space as it suggests. So I think we shouldn't have no objection to it.
No objection. Any other comments? Councillor Martin? You're mute.
Sorry, I agree with that. I do agree with that summation. And as currently garages are not recognised as parking spaces, I can't see any reason to object to this, so I'll second it.
And can we all vote on that? No other comments? Thank you. Right, here we go. 2050 5270, 21 Waterside Close. Proposed first floor extension to front southwest elevation, including alterations to fenestration and extension to rear balcony to second floor. It all looks very complicated to me. There has been a letter from a neighbour who seems to be quite critical. Any comments from anyone else? Councillor Williams?
Thank you. Yeah, I mean, again, I mean, like's been said earlier, I mean, it's difficult sometimes to appreciate kind of what the impact of this may be to the neighbours, etc., based on the designs, particularly looking at it from not that sort of technical minded way. But I think the concern over the neighbour and the neighbour's comment suggesting that some of this extension may actually encroach on a sort of a no man's land sort of area between the properties. I guess there may be the prospect of causing some sort of civil problem, and I don't really know if that is a something we can object on based on that objection from the neighbour. But I'm not very clear from the application whether it's a very good application and whether it's going to actually impact the neighbours too severely. So I wrote down I was minded to object, but I'm quite happy to be guided by others of what they think really on this.
Councillor Martin?
Yeah, I was very much similar in my thoughts, Councillor Williams. There does appear to be those properties in Waterside Close were very carefully designed to mimic a certain style, and this takes that beyond where I think it should do, in that I think it changes the street plan, and bearing in mind that it is in a conservation area, I'm minded to object as well, subject to the conservation officer's comments at Borough Council, because I think it just doesn't do the streetscape or the creekscape an appropriate form, and I think that's the main reason for objecting. And I do note that other properties creekside have put in planning applications which have been rejected and gone to appeal and been rejected for similar reasons. So I'm minded to second Councillor Williams' objection.
Thank you. Any other comments? No? Can we all vote on that then? Thank you. (2050 5271) for the old postmaster's house, 6 E Street, provision of 2-bed flat with internal courtyard. Councillor Martin?
Yeah, I would actually support this. We did say no objection previously to an application for the same building and the similar development. It's just that this has been resubmitted as they found more original detailing that can be saved.
Yeah.
And for that reason, the fact that they are planning to restore the Victorian lantern rather than, and by doing so would need to alter the room usage internally, because I believe that area was originally going to be a solid roof and therefore bedrooms, which could be looked into, and even with obscure glass in the lantern, that would make it a, let's say, less private than perhaps a bedroom should be. So my proposal is that we actually support this application on the grounds that it is better than it was before.
I agree. I agree. Councillor Williams?
Yeah, I'm similar-minded, really. I think they've addressed well, there was one issue around having cycle parking provision, which I think KCC Highways have said that they have no issue as long as that is adhered to, and I think that's important in the town centre. And I think any sort of property where it provides a really good place to live in the middle of town, when there is a sort of lack of those sorts of properties, I think is really important. So I think, yeah, I'm quite happy to second our motion so that we support it, because I think it's
Thank you. Yeah. Thank you. Any other comments on that? Councillor Irwin?
Yeah, just to say, I agree with all the comments that have been made so far. I think, we want to encourage more people into the town centre and reinvigorate it. And, the plans that they've got are sensible and they don't impact the streetscape adversely. So I think we should support it.
Thank you. We'll just vote on that then. Councillor Martin and Councillor Williams seconding, and the rest of us in agreement. Thank you. 2050-5315, 47 Newton Road, replacement of existing windows, creation of new door and windows opening to rear elevation, and installation of new roof lights, including alterations to rear entrance area. Any comments on this? It says replacement of windows, doesn't say if they are UPVC or...
I'm happy to make some comment.
Councillor Williams?
I don't know. Reading through it, I kind of, it's one of these things that comes up a lot about sort of replacing windows, particularly in the conservation area, and about looking at making sure that the windows and doors are in keeping with the building and with the area. It's quite refreshing that they put in there that they are going to be replacing it with timber double glazed windows, which I think is good for the properties down that road, Newton Road. So I personally can't see any reason to object. I mean, I'd even be bold enough to go and say we support the application, because I think it's one of these examples where they go beyond just replacing the windows and actually put some effort into thinking about the character of the building. So that's my opinion anyway.
Thank you. Councillor Martin.
Yeah, I agree with Councillor Williams on this. I know there are some existing double glazed UPVC that will be retained in this, but obviously if the old adage, if it ain't broke, don't fix it, probably applies, and I'm willing to accept that. And I'm prepared to second Councillor Williams in saying no objection. In fact, in support.
Thank you. Any other comments? No. Can we vote on that then?
I think Councillor Williams said support.
Support, yeah.
So you're happy with that,
and I'm
Councillor?
willing to second that. Sorry.
Thank you.
Sorry, yeah, support. Right, 2050-5462, 4 Ethelred Court, Ethelbert Road. Conversion of the attached garage at the front into additional living space. Alterations to fenestration, including raising roof and bifolding door. Look fine to me. Councillor Irwin.
I don't think we should object to this,
No.
this application. It is, you know, again, it's a sensible option for people who can't move house, right? They convert the garage. I also quite like the fact that, you know, the existing garage door will be kept. Obviously, it'll be redundant, but you know, it won't impact the building at all from the front anyway. So.
I agree. Any other comments on that? I'm happy to second that, Councillor Irwin. Can we all vote on that? Thank you. 126 Ospringe, 2050 5505 126 Ospringe Road. Installation of replacement windows and rear door. Councillor Irwin.
Madam Mayor, I just realised that this house is actually across the road from my house. So
it is opposite you.
It is opposite me, so I won't comment or vote on it.
Right, no, you're quite right. It says installation of replacement windows, rear door. It doesn't give any more than that. Councillor Martin.
Yeah, I'm just. It is a. It's obviously a. They're recycling some UPVC.
Yes.
And it is replacement. It appears to be almost like for like, and it is. Although we prefer wood in this area, but they are also proposing to do sash windows, which currently they are not. So I'm minded to say no objection.
I would agree. Councillor Williams.
Yeah, I agree. I think what they're trying to do is keep the UPVC kind of benefits of, you know, or what they've already had, but make it a little bit more in character with the style of the window. And I think they've gone to some effort into looking at the energy savings. I think it's really important, some of these properties, that, you know, that the buildings are well insulated with these windows, obviously, for environmental reasons. So I think I'd be happy to second Councillor Martin's proposal.
They've kept them in character. Right, and can we vote? Well, there's only me to no. We vote on that. Thank you. Councillor Irwin abstained from that. Right, I think that is the last one this evening. So no other business. No, that's it. We've finished. So thank you, everyone, and good night.
Thank you.